Welcome to your daily dose of hope. I'm Phyllis Nichols, and I'm glad you're here. Have you ever noticed that sometimes our mind just races? It feels like we can't stop, right? We can't stop thinking. I know that happens to me sometimes, and very seldom when my mind is racing like that is it helpful. Usually, I'm obsessing or I'm kind of going over the same thing a lot, and it doesn't necessarily help. It's not productive. It's not helping me do something better. It's not helping me come to better solutions or conclusions. Sometimes, our brain is just meant to file and remember things, right? And sometimes it's just meant to help us process what's happening. And we get stuck in a little bit of a loop. So to stop that or to interrupt the loop, one of the things that can work is to just write down what you're thinking about. Sometimes when we get the thoughts onto paper, kind of helps us realize and mentally understand that we don't have to keep holding on to them. We don't have to keep worrying about it because we've written them down and maybe we've even reflected about it as we're writing. Another way to stop the mind churning is to move your body. Take a short walk or stretch, or if you do yoga, do something like that. Even going out and watering the garden and pulling a few weeds can stop the cycle of overthinking. Activity helps, and it's something we can do anytime, anywhere. You can just take a few minutes and walk away from your desk or whatever it is that you need to do. Another thing is to realize what you're kind of obsessing about and then identify one piece of it you can control. I know often when I'm in that worrying state, I'm worrying about things I have no control over. I don't have control over other people. I don't have control over somebody's health. I don't have control over all kinds of things, right? So pulling back and going, okay, here's what I'm worried about, or here's what I've been obsessing about. What's one part of that I actually do control? And then take a small step in that regard. Like just give yourself permission to acknowledge, number one, that probably if you're worrying about something, it's usually something you don't have a lot of control over. If there's a piece that you can control, you can address that. And then you can spend a few minutes just doing nothing. I know sometimes this is hard. I've been working on this a lot lately, right? Not resisting the urge to pick up my phone and just scroll when I have a few minutes, or I'm in between phone calls, for example, or even just sitting in traffic or waiting in line at the grocery store. Just taking a few minutes to just be, right? I'll sometimes just focus on my breath or, look outside at the trees or just give my brain and myself a break. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable, and I know the urge to pick up the phone and scroll is strong, but when we can give ourselves a little bit of space for our brain, it helps. It actually has a calming effect. And there's all kinds of documented information about how, scrolling and sort of the dopamine hit and the addictiveness of that is impacting us in a negative way. And so just taking a break from that and not letting it be the way that we kind of soothe ourselves can be super helpful. Look, a quiet mind doesn't mean it's an empty mind. It means it's a mind that has room to breathe. So you have permission to do that today. This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.